Hi, and welcome to Cash and Coins. Today I will discuss why I use silver and gold as part of my pension plan, my retirement plan. I looked at historical data concerning precious metals and I noticed that they really do hold their value and don't have the massive swings that the stock market has. I was a little surprised when I saw the numbers. All right, let's get into it. Hi, and thank you for joining me here at Cash and Coins. If you watch my channel, you know that I invest in the stock market and in real estate. I'm giving you full disclosure. I do value each of these markets, and I don't blind myself with the gains that they can or can't produce. I even tried Bitcoin one time, but that's not my thing. I did make some money. I'm not going to say I didn't. But as you know, they always say, the more risk, the more reward. Now, silver and gold are a little bit different. Silver and gold have proven to me to hold their value. Now, look at these articles, especially on gold. And the reason why I'm going to gold is because we know silver has been manipulated in the markets so many times. You can look it up. I'll get into that a little bit further down in the video. The key thing here is that gold is much more stable than the market. And this is what I found. First thing, I'll point out the price swings in both of the markets. Let's examine the stock market. Now, I went to Business Insider and they have this article, and you can check it out and read the whole thing. It talks about the biggest market crashes. The biggest drop was in the 1920s. Well, here's the article. And it lists them from 1 to 8. We'll go to number 2. Wall Street crash of 1929. What happened? For nearly a decade, the stock market had kept rising on speculative spiral. Overproduction in factories and a roaring 20s giddiness led consumers to take on too much debt and believe financial instruments would climb perpetually higher. Finally, catching on to the overheated situation, seasoned investors began cashing out. Stock prices dropped first on the 24th, briefly rallied, and then went into a free fall on October 28th through 29th. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 25% in those days. Ultimately, the market lost 85% of its value. Yeah, 85%. But the article went on, and number 8, it had there, and these are some of the recent drops it talked about, which is the COVID-19 crash of 2020. What happened? By the beginning of 2020, COVID-19 had spread widely in China and then to Europe, notably Italy, and to the US, where restaurants and non-essential stores closed to stem the tide of infection. As investors realized the extent to which coronavirus could spread and negatively affect the economy, the stock market began to quiver. On March 16th, with mandatory lockdowns being announced, the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost nearly 13% and the S&P 500 dropped 12%. And there's another article on Motley Fool, but I'm not going to read it to you because it's basically saying the same thing. But they did have this one point here about the dot-com bubble in 1999 and 2000. And it said during the 1990s, the values of the internet-based stocks rose sharply. As a result, the technology-dominated NASDAQ Composite Index surged from 1,000 points in 1995 to more than 5,000 in 2000. But in early 2001, the dot-com stock bubble started to burst. The NASDAQ peaked at 5,048.62 points on March 10th. The index would go on to plummet by 76.81% until it reached a low of 1,139.9 points on October 4th, 2002. So as you see, the drops in the stock market can be devastating. from 76% to 85% of its value. Now let's compare this with gold. And I looked in several places to find the big drops in gold. And the biggest thing I could find was here on mining.com. And it says, adjusting for inflation, gold's highest price point ever was on January 21st, 1980, when the precious metal hit $850, only to plunge the very next day to $737.50, a 13% fall. Yeah. So the biggest drop in gold was 13%, while in comparison the biggest drop in the stock market was 85%. So what does this say to me? I say when people tell you that gold is not a safe haven, that gold doesn't hold its value, please let them look at historical information. Now, unfortunately, as I was talking about earlier, silver has not had the same luxury as gold, for silver has historically been manipulated. Everyone knows what the Hunt brothers did in the 1980s, and you can see article after article after article published on how silver is manipulated. Just last year they talked about some of the guys at JP Morgan, how they're going to jail for manipulating it. With that said, I do feel that the silver market can only be manipulated so much. I do feel that the silver market will continue to grow in value just as any other asset. And if you look at recent charts, you'll see the value of silver and gold. And right now they are really on the move. Now these are the reasons I stack and I collect silver and gold. They are an asset, they are an investment, they are a part of my savings, they are a part of my insurance, and they help me sleep well at night. Now, let me know, if you don't mind, in the comments, how do you see silver and gold? Are they a part of your investment or wealth plan? Will they play a part in your retirement? So these are the reasons why I use silver and gold as part of my investment. I see that it's more stable than the stock market. Obviously, as I've shown you with gold, it doesn't lose 85% of its value the way the market has. Now, as I said in the beginning too, the market does do its thing. It gives dividends and all these other things. Can you make money in the stock market? Absolutely. Can you make money with gold and silver? Absolutely. So I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm saying that one is more stable than the other. And that definitely is gold. I do want to thank you for watching Cash and Coins. Please like, share, and subscribe if you have not. Now, if you are a subscriber, I really do appreciate it. If you are a viewer, I'd appreciate you too. If you consider subscribing, I would love that. Oh, and yeah, hit that notification bell. I don't think I ever say that, but yeah, they tell me that's a good thing. Well, as I always say, have a wonderful day. Keep on stacking, and I'll see you on the next video.